walking with the ghost.
So, you know, in my mind, while I was at work, and I was just thinking, like, how is it that the DCEU we're not even able to do what the writers, creators of the CW shows, Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Black Lightning. How come they weren't able to do what they did? Build up these characters, have them meet, have them do those crossover shows where Supergirl met Flash, and Arrow met Flash, and these guys just bumping into each other. It took a while. I mean, before like Black Lightning and everything. You know, I mean, because it's no you know it's no like surprise of when if you guys have followed my channel that I'm someone that's never watched these shows past the first few seasons. I stopped watching them simply because I was tired of the agenda and tired of being preached to. It's like I want to watch a show to be entertained. I don't want to be preached to. I don't want to be told that I have to accept this and accept that. I'll accept them, but let me do it. Let me make that decision. Don't force me by putting it out there and focusing on that type of an agenda or that type of a, story arc. And it's like it just totally slows down the action, slows down the story. Because we all know that DC and Marvel have gay characters, black characters, strong women characters. Instead of telling us that they're strong, telling us that they're proud to be black, or telling us that they're gay and they're, gonna let their free flag fly kind of thing, just put it out there. Let them be them. But they are those characters, but they also represent a demographic, represent sexual orientation, whatever. We would know that already. But let them go out there and be superheroes. Let them go out there and be villains. Let them go out there and be who they are. And instead of telling us who they are, we know who they are. I know that Ruby Rose is gay. Her Batgirl is gay. Her Batwoman is gay. Fucking Kara's adopted sister is gay. That Jimmy Olsen was black, but then they had to throw in that silly thing of him being arrested as a kid by cops and stuff, and it's like they're trying to get a reaction out of us, and it's like, yeah, it was bad going through stuff like that for them, of course, but when you do that, especially when it wasn't even part of the show in the beginning, it gets a little much. If it was like that from the beginning, okay, but it's almost like they got pressured. And I know that Greg Berlanti is gay, so I can understand, okay, he wants to implement this stuff, but don't do it at the expense of really making your show unbearable to watch. Because like I said, and before I move on, don't like to be preached to. Seriously, I want to watch a show and be entertained. That's it. But anyway, Crisis on Infinite Earths, the latest crossover that pretty much crosses over every show. They were even able to get Black Lightning on board, and the whole thing was centered around the 7 paragons that include humanity, courage, truth. I believe love was in there. And they were able to gather all 7 of them in the end. The last one was Osric Chow, if you remember him as Kevin from Supernatural. And I like this character. It was annoying at first, but this character really proved to be an important, asset to them when it came to handling their business there at Supernatural. But it's good to see him in his show and then him taking part. We got to see all of the characters come back. Michelle Benoist, who plays Supergirl, or Melissa, excuse me, Melissa Benoist. And we have, Brandon Routh, who plays Dr. Adam. Was that Captain Adam? Dr. Adam, Been a while since I've seen the show, so I kind of forget some of the guys. He even plays Superman from Metropolis, so I'm thinking that's Superman from the movie. Or I believe it's a different Superman that he's playing from the comics, I believe. Bear with me, I'm trying to remember the things I read in the past, and all the others who, it's been a while. It's been a while since I, remembered any of these actors. I know who they are. We all know who plays Flash. All know who plays, Arrow, who plays all these guys. But they're all back and doing what they do. What I like about the show is that they all have an amazing chemistry. It's like these guys are great actors, and they really, really just gel when it comes to how the storyline is unfolding and how the action and the visuals and everything. And I just like seeing these guys. Tom Cavanaugh's in there, got Cisco and Danielle Panabaker, who plays Rost, right? I forget her alter ego name. I mean, her real identity, But it's really just great seeing, just how well this show was written. The way they were able to just, like I said, they go from the beginning of each of these series when they started out, and then over the course of a number of years, you see these crossover shows. And they're probably like my favorite shows. Like even when I stopped watching these shows, there's a crossover, I would watch them. Yeah, it's kind of like a scavenger hunt. You have to find which one goes here, which one goes there. You have to get this and get that in order to know how to watch it, kind of thing. It's like a lot of work. There's some work that goes into it. At least this one was easy to figure out. I think the last one was like a number of shows, and it's like you had to watch season 3, episode 1 of this, and then season 4, episode 5 of this. This one was like, it was really easy. It's like the first one was from Supergirl, and then the next one was from Batwoman, and then the next one was from Flash. Speaking of Batwoman, Ruby Rose was, she didn't annoy me at all. A couple of things here that made me cringe, but it's like she really fit in, and I really, really liked how they presented her in this crossover series of episodes. Pretty defiant. She's at that tough girl thing. She's like she wants to be just by herself. She doesn't really. Who are you guys? Like, I don't want to work with you guys. And stuff. But she had that attitude still. She had that type of way of dealing with people. But in the end, of course, we see her bonding with Supergirl, Kara. So I like the way they present her. It's like this is the way that maybe they should have showed her in the beginning. Like you don't see her in this thing talking about being a strong woman. She just goes out there and she kicks ass with every one of these guys. Whether they're fighting off those black thing, reminds me of the Death Eaters from Harry Potter films. And she's doing her thing, doing them spin kicks and using that batarang. I don't know what that was, a batarang. And Brandon Routh's character is Dr. Adam, right, or something like that. But he kind of modified one of them, and then when she used it, she's like, "Oh, pretty cool," And but like I said, they're trying to fight off this force, this type of thing that's going around, and it's destroying every single Earth that's in existence, and it's really cutting through the universe. And they think they have things figured out, and then you lose another Earth. From left to right, they're losing all these Earths, and they're working hard to find a way, that they can come together and use their powers or use their resources in order to stop it. And of course, in the end, when they do gather all of the 7 Paragons, You know, then they ready themselves for the ultimate showdown, to stop whatever this force is that's destroying all these Earths. We also saw the resurrection, I guess you can say, of Lex Luthor. From what I understand, he died, and he was brought back by the Monitor. And the Monitor's thing is like he's the guy that's like he's the one that controls everything, and he's telling these guys that you have a purpose. You're here because there's a reason that it helps their agenda as to how they're going to move these guys along, because a lot of these guys, he keeps telling them they have their destinies and their paths that they got to follow, and it's going to work all towards that. And he brought you know Luther back, and John Cryer, brilliant as Lex Luthor. If you can't have Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville, you have John Cryer. He really is a great actor. And I don't follow him as much, and I'm not a big fan. That's nothing against him. It's just the fact that I watch other people, and when I see him in a movie or if I see him in a show, he's always somebody that catches my eye. I'm like, wow, this guy is really good. He goes all the way back to the '80s. He was like one of those what do you call that guy? Like wasn't really part of the Breakfast Club type of those guys. With Emilio Estevez and Ali Sheedy and Molly Ringwald and the others. But he was part of that generation, and he was in a number of these films. And so he's been acting for some time. He's also very well known in recent years for Two Men and Two and a Half Men. Let's say three men and a baby or some shit. But yeah, he's in here, and his purpose, he has this book. You open it up, and you can control anybody you want. And he's going through all the Earths, killing Superman, because we all know their history. That's his worst enemy, and he wants to get rid of all the Supermans, and he's able to do it, Earth to Earth. And then he lands on a little town you might know, Smallville, and he finds that Smallville's Clark Kent. He thinks he's found Superman. Well, another time he would have been Superman, but we find out that Tom Welling, of course, who came back, he's playing Clark Kent in this scene. He gave up his powers. Like he tried kryptonite on him. And it's like, he's like, hey, isn't this supposed to kill you? It's supposed to slow you down. It's supposed to make you weak. He's like, well, I gave my powers up. And you find out that he has a wife and kids. He has 2 daughters. But before that, he kind of hears either his wife or his kids, and then Lex Luthor tries a sucker punch, and he catches him. He's like, and then catches him, and then he punches him and knocks him down. He says, I'm still bigger than you. And Tom Welling is bigger. Tom Welling has been, you can tell he's been working out. He's been keeping himself in shape. Looks good unless they put some padding on him, but he looks natural to me. And unfortunately, it looks like this is probably the only scene we will see him, because he's settled down. He gave up his powers. He's married to Lois, played by Erica Durance, who also played Kara's mother. And of course, the mother died, on Argo. And Argo was the first planet that we see destroyed. We see Superman, played by Tyler Locken, right? He's married to that Earth's, or that side's Lois Lane. They're not even on Earth, they're on Argo. And then they have a baby named Jonathan. And before they realize that the Earth is being destroyed, Kara's mother tells them. And then they put Jonathan on one of the on a capsule on one of those little ships and sends him off. They're able to be beamed or somehow go to where Kara is, but Kara asks, "Where's my mom?" And her mom perishes on Argo, with the rest of everybody else on that planet. And they're able to find where he is later on when what's his name, Brainiac, or no, not Brainiac, that's the villain, Brainy, yeah, Brainy, I think they call him Brainy, right? And he was able to coordinates, whatever he did. They were able to find little Jonathan, and then they were able to, bring him back to his parents and everything. A number of things going on in this. I'm not going to go over everything, but I'm going to bring to you finer points, the points that, in this show, like I talked about the Seven Paragons, talking about bringing all these guys together, trying to stop whatever force this is, The Flash from 1990, he's running on this treadmill for like, goodness knows how long. I think he said something like 30 years. And the Anti-Monitor was using his speed force, for whatever he wanted. It was that electrical thing, the stuff that was coming up like that. He was using it for that. They stopped him. They were able to get him off of there, and then they realized that it was kind of like he even explains that if he gets off of that thing, it's going to trigger a failsafe or some kind of a thing, and they're going to probably get blown up. And then they even incorporate Black Lightning in there. I believe this is the first time he's ever been in a crossover, because I think at one time they didn't want to merge their worlds. But that was going to happen eventually. Everybody, likes the show. I liked it when I was watching it. And, he's able to get there. He tries to help him out, using his electricity power and everything. Sad about that, the fact that, when he asks later on, finds out that his wife and his two daughters and everybody on his Earth died. The Earth was destroyed. And, Flash and him, Barry and him kind of bonded, because they have similar stories. His father died, so did he was young, and so did Jefferson's father. We all know that, those of us who watched the show. So they kind of bonded over that, and he officially, because he was Jefferson and he didn't know he was Barry. He told him he's Barry, and then they shook hands, and they're cool. So it sets up for the final two episodes that's going to happen. It's going to come in January, and then after those two, it's done. I don't know what's going to happen. Flash. Well, I think Arrow definitely. I believe they aired its last episodes before this. Legends of Tomorrow is canceled. It's gone now. I believe Supergirl is about to. Maybe Flash, the same thing. I think Black Lightning is going to continue for a few episodes. I'm not sure. But I know that we've lost they've lost some, they've canceled some shows, and this is probably the last time you'll see a number of these guys. They might pop up in the future, in the shows, that are still on. But this is what you're gonna get on my channel, trying to talk about Crisis on Infinite Earths. A lot to talk about. Hopefully, I brought up things that needed to be brought up, or at least touched on. Because there's so much stuff here. It's like you can't talk about it. I'm not gonna go scene for scene, because then I'd be here for 2 hours. But I hope you guys like my video. Those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. I always do. I'm working hard on my channel. I just reached 90 subs. Some of you, it might not be much. Some of you are going, well, that's a decent accomplishment, Serge. But it's like, only 90, but you know what? It's 90, and it's me working hard, working my butt off, my ass off, to just put out good content, because that's the thing that I put in my head, that I don't do this channel. In this channel, I'm not, creating videos to get subs. I am creating videos for my subs, something that I might think you guys would like, and if you like it. Those of you who come by and check out and think, hey, this is nice content, I'm gonna sub. That's the ones that I like. I don't pay for my subs. I don't try to use any of those so-called services. I've looked into a lot of them, and boy, are they gyps. They would gyp you. It's like those get-rich-quick schemes, the work-from-home opportunities. They never ever pan out. So for those of you who come on here, and I appreciate you're trying to tell me, hey, you can get more subs this way, like that. It doesn't work out. I've checked out every one of those programs. It doesn't. So, to me, if I can earn a sub or two each video, that's fine. That is perfect for me, because, I'm earning it through my hard work, not because, using a service that's going to give me, subs, And what are some of those subs? Bots and stuff like that? I don't want that. Nobody wants those, right? You want legit, real people to communicate with, to say that, hey, your videos are cool. Hey, you can work on this. Oh, hey, maybe you should do something else. Oh, you can do this. Hey, how about react to this? How about do this? That's cool. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate everybody that comes by, checks out my videos. Whether or not you leave a like, comment, that's fine. If you watch, that's cool because it keeps me going. If I see interest in my videos, it keeps me going. It gives me the ability, the desire to just keep going. You know, one day maybe my channel will be big. Maybe it won't be bigger. Maybe it'll be small. Maybe it'll be a medium-sized channel, a small channel. As long as I enjoy doing this, I'm gonna keep going, regardless of the size of my channel. But that's it. That's my video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm just doing what I can when it comes to the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and pretty much, hopefully I touched on the points, on the different stuff that I need to, in order to just let you know what's on my mind when it comes to this. There's a lot of things that happen, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I think that this is something that really keeps even the casuals like me who don't watch these shows. I watched them in the beginning of the season, like I said, but I didn't continue because, like I said, and I've already said it why I stopped watching shows. But again, I appreciate your guys' support and coming by and checking out my video. And in closing, and as always, take care.